Hello, citizens of the world. Shaba Shams here with Shaba Speaks as we continue our conversations on health, wealth, relationships in an attempt to inspire, empower, and connect the citizens of the world. I am super happy to be here in another episode. I know I disappeared a little bit, guys, but please forgive me. I've been so busy with Clubhouse, a book, and so many different things going on right now, and there aren't enough hours in the day, but I'm staying connected. I'm checking you guys out and what you guys are doing and so on and so forth. So back on track with Shaba Speaks, our weekly show, and we have a wonderful guest today, Mr. Hisham Sarwar, who actually is going to tell me a little bit about himself. Brother Hisham, welcome to Shaba Speaks. How are you?
Hey Shaba, thank you for having me on the show. I am fine. Thanks for asking. Okay. So I was ensuring that I share this on my profiles as well so we can get some good traffic here. So I
Oh
just
yeah,
shared it on
I
my
need
profile.
probably to tag you as well. I can
Right.
tag you.
That
Okay.
would be great. That would be great. So we can have some peeps checking in and see how does this
Yeah,
go. So
it'd be nice if more people on your site actually edit post. Here you go, and let me quickly tag you. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Hisham.
okay. So I live in Pakistan, born and raised here. That's what I've been doing. I'm tech based. That's what I've been doing here for the last 22 years. Self employed. I run a small design agency where we offer design services to our clients in West US primarily.
Mhm.
As a freelancer or a freelancing company, we get all our work from one of the world's largest freelance marketplace known as Guru.com, and one of the rare South Asians who were privileged enough to rank in top 10 out of millions of freelancers. So therefore, all the local blogs uh, gave me a good recognition and coverage. That's how I got a little popularity and recognition in this part of the world. Alongside my freelancing career, I'm a YouTuber. I've got two YouTube channels, one in English, one in Urdu. Urdu is my native language. Then I'm a blogger. I own a blog called beinguru.com. It's a tech blog where we not only talk about tech, but we talk about motivation as well. Because in the strange times amid COVID-19, I genuinely believe that if you can show a way to someone who's struggling, you are actually doing a great service to the humanity. So that's what we have been doing for the past 4 years, but things have picked up uh, since February 2020. And I'm a philanthropist, a tech philanthropist who believes in teaching people free without charging them a single dime. And that's what I do. I teach people freelancing. I teach them how to make money on the internet. I teach them digital marketing, social media marketing, blogging, YouTubing, and I talk about the importance of learning skill. So you prepare yourself for industrial revolution, because those with proper skill set are better destined to compete with huge saturated competition tomorrow. And that's what I do. I mean, like Barack Obama says, that's what I do.
That's what I do. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for giving kind of a comprehensive outlook of what you do. What's the biggest challenge have you encountered in trying to diffuse, this amount of information, this content to your followers in terms of helping them get to the next level? What has been the biggest obstacles or challenges for you?
Shabbat, to be honest, it was challenging from the word A. Because to convince people that there is a world, a separate world alongside the real physical world we live in, that separate world is an internet-based world where businesses, they do business, where people do networking, where people do social networking. So the challenge was to convince people to pick up, their smartphones or laptops or computers for that matter, and learn new emerging and trending skills. The problem here is people do not want to learn new skills. The problem here is before they actually learn a tech skill, if I take a step back, they do not even want to work on their communication skills. Now, when I talk about communication skills, remember, I and my followers, I think followers would not be appropriate word here, acquaintances, so to speak, or students for that matter. We live in Pakistan. Now, in Pakistan, Urdu is our first language. For us to compete with an international market, we have got to learn English because English is an international business language.
Absolutely.
For me to tell them that in order to survive in this new world, which exists parallel to the physical world we live in, far bigger than the physical world we live in, because there are no boundaries, there are no geographical, boundaries set forth on the internet, and it is a global village. And while sitting at the comfort of couch at home, you can sell your product and services seven oceans across. Now, for them to apprehend all this, for them to understand it without traveling, how could somebody could do business with a US based business or a European based business? That was the real challenge I faced all throughout my 90s and early 2000. Now, recently, the real challenge I have on my desk, and as I say, buck stops here, because I'm taken as a teacher who has not only taught freelancing but also taken up as a mentor who teaches them leadership skills, who teaches problem solving skills, who tells them that the soft skills such as the art of persuasion, the art of problem solving, the art of communication, the importance of time management, so on and so forth. It is very important for everybody to learn these soft skills if they want to become successful on internet. That is so far something I've been banging my head against the wall recently, because the transition between communication transition between Urdu and English, it's pretty challenging, Shobha.
Yeah, I come from North Africa. I don't know if you know that. I'm from Algeria, and my people speak French and Arabic, and Amazigh, which I'm Amazigh. And I see the desire. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, I want to speak English like you. I want to speak English fluently or naturally." But the truth of the matter is, they don't want to do the work.
Yep.
They simply, I mean, I have to say it clearly and loudly that people who do not succeed in life because they are lacking skills, whether soft or other. I've been in the business of digital literacy and information literacy my entire career. And I believe that people who are not successful at becoming the best version of themselves, it's not because they can't, it's not because there are no resources, it's not because they don't have access, it's because they just don't want to do the work. Um, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Shaba, I want to speak English like you." And I'm like, do you realize how much work and practice and money I spent to be at this level where I am comfortable with speaking English, not just with my community, but also with higher leadership position and postdoc and PhD people and so on and so forth, just because I spent 20 years working on this. It's a lot of work. But people want to go to where you are. "Oh, Hisham, you're great at what you do. You're a good guru. I want to be like you." But they do not understand that between here and here, well, how many hours, how many money, how much money, how many, endless of commitment, you know, coachable attitude, learning what you don't know, and proving yourself. So the result of who you are today, it's what you have been investing in for so many years. Can you take us through that journey? People look at you now and you're like at this level where you're giving and giving and giving so much knowledge, skills. How did you get there? What motivated you into getting there? How much
What
hard work did you put in the on the plate to be the one who's giving today?
Wonderful. Amazing question. Look, they say Rome was not built in one day, and it stands true. Nothing beats perseverance. Nothing beats hard work. Period. So that's something we have to establish before we take this conversation forward and talk about how did I get there. Of course, countless sleepless nights, sometimes sleeping under the desk, sometimes going through days without a decent 5 or 6 hours sleep. And the biggest challenge I faced when I was growing up as a internet business worker or as a freelancer was Shaba, communication skills. Again, I am an MBA. I've done bachelor's in commerce, and then I've done a master's in business administration. But then again, being someone who was hardly out of Punjab, leave alone Pakistan, when I was growing up, communication was the biggest challenge. And when you talk about communication, if you want to get business from West, you've got to converse in business English. So initially, I had, all those, I've faced all those tough times of, uh, you know, fumbling through conversations and sometimes, all those alls and jars. But over a period of time, I realized if you've got to get there, the only thing is to work on your verbal communication. Written, you can get away with that because there are so many computer aided programs that literally help you and they put you behind a disguise where the other person cannot identify that English is not your first language because the widgets like Grammarly not only it corrects your spelling mistakes, but it also sets up a perfect active tone of your content rather than making it passive for most of the time. But when it comes to verbal communication, in-person communication, that's where the real challenge is, and you can only learn it once you practice it. So when I was growing up as a teenager, Shaba, 19 years lad, I would pick up a camera, I would stand in front of mirror. Sometimes I would act as I've won an Oscar. Sometimes I would act as I have won a man of the match of a cricket match. Cricket is a sports here, commonly played in subcontinent. I'm sure you must not be familiar with this game in US. But standing in front of mirror, role playing for sometimes an Oscar award winning actor, sometimes a man of the match, a cricket player. That actually helped me a long way. And then of course mentors. As a growing up kid, you look up to mentors who who could have a great influence in your life. And I was blessed enough to come up as a kid growing up to surround myself with the mentors who highlighted the importance of conversing well, who highlighted the importance of uh, building up confidence, showing up, and most importantly, the biggest art I take a lot of pride in, which I have learned is the art of, and it's not actually an art, the craft of selling myself. As a business person, as a marketing geek, someone who is supposed to sell his services or products for that matter, what I've learned is unless and until you work on your business development skills, that comes right after your communication skills. Don't you just do not give yourself a fair chance of competing with the West. Uh, this did not happen overnight. Required a lot of practice. 22 years later, still struggling. I call myself a curious student who learns every single day. Book like these have taught me more than anything else. Not even my 4 year college degree or I love reading. I love reading about the topics that resonate well with my liking. So as a business person, I like to read a lot of business oriented books, focused on business, focused on money, focused on entrepreneurship, focused on freelancing. Uh, but yeah, to cut long story short, this did not happen overnight. Like I said, Rome was not built in one day.
Wonderful. And I agree with you. And the reason I brought this idea or topic or discussion is because I believe that you touched also on learning how to sell yourself and marketing yourself. I think it's a very important business or mindset.
Yeah.
And fortunately, culture has a lot to do. And I come back to this point in a second. But back to the hard work. You have 20 plus years in building yourself, investing in mentors, in reading, living out of 2, 3 hours a night. And I've been the same way. I came to America 23 years ago. I had no money. I had no English speaking. I have no degree that I could work with. And I was raising 3 kids, working 2, 3 jobs, going to college. And I was living literally on 2, 3 hours a night of sleep, and I was multitasking because I really wanted my kids to experience the whole American life, from going to sports and arts and just exploring things. So I was running around, I mean, crazy. And then I go home, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to put to do, the part, that part, and you find yourself 3 o'clock in the morning, you're still doing homework and learning what you need to learn because you have that hunger, you're so driven. You want to make
Right.
something out of your life, and you know that nobody's gonna hand that to you. Nobody's gonna bring you success on a plate. Nobody's gonna bring you the life you want to create on a plate or knock on your door and say, here is your dream life. So, to all of you listening out there, if you are hungry for success and building the life of your dream, you can absolutely achieve it, but you have to do the work. You have to commit. You have to be coachable. You have to know what you don't know and rise up to the challenge because nobody else is going to do it. And then, of course, I heard something from actually a billionaire this weekend who says, I pitch, I don't bitch. And I loved it. And I loved it. I really love the idea of pitching, selling yourself, learning how to present yourself, thinking about how to solve people's problems. So pitch and don't bitch. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they complain and they bitch all the time. So they are missing out opportunities on really trying to make something out of their life, and build themselves. I like that you bring Think and Grow Rich because I have it right behind me here. In fact, I would love to invite you to do a mastermind on, Think and Grow Rich because I believe it's kind of the foundation of all entrepreneurs and all successful mindsets. I want you to tell me a little bit about how culture, in your opinion, is sometimes a limiting belief and a hurdle into learning the skills you need to become the best salesperson of yourself, like selling yourself. How do you see culture or society or environment as something that can hold you back from going out there and selling yourself and learning the skills you need to learn?
Wonderful, wonderful. You're surprising me with amazing questions, Shaba. And I hardly give interviews because I'm so done with mainstream questions. They've been asking me again and again. How did you get there? How did you do it? But this one is amazing, and I'm loving it. Literally
Awesome.
loving it.
And,
No,
and it's
no,
funny. I have to disclose something to the audience
right.
because I never look at the bio of my guests. I don't do it. I just don't do it because I like to frame and I use what you tell me to really connect with your heart. And I almost like I feel you. I am in your shoes and I'm like, what do I really want to know about Hisham? What is going to be useful to me and to the people who are listening? We can find out a lot about your bio, but
Right.
I'm interested in what goes here and what goes here.
The thought process and what lies in the heart. Now, again, another amazing question. And the thing is, I come from a society where living on the internet literally was taken as a taboo because I belong to a military background. My father, my grandfather, my uncles, even from my mother's side, everybody belongs to military. And here we had a rebel, literally a rebel, 20 years back who wanted to do something for himself using internet, something that was unheard of. But I was so passionately driven to do something because I was inspired by all those amazing stories of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. And I'm still, like I said, I'm a curious student who gets mesmerized by the performances of new players who surface up either in West or even in China. I'm a big admirer of Jack Ma. But the reality check I received when I was trying to establish my freelancing career was look, this is all in a thin air. It's not something which is for granted and given, just like in case of job every single month. So in case of job, you get fixed salaries, you got a good career, you can grow in your job, you get appraisals, you get promotions. Whereas in the case of freelancing, all you are getting is new jobs one after another. And what if the sales stream drops? Now, this was a point when people used to ask me. I literally had no answer for this because, honestly speaking, if you look at things in a freelancing, they all, they're in haze, so to speak. And when I say the things are gloomy and they're in haze, it's because nobody knows about your future as a freelancer. And then, like I said, courtesy mentors I was surrounded with, they helped me in not only breaking my mental barriers and chains, but they also helped me in learning business development skills and start my career online without worrying about what is going to happen in the future. One of the biggest setbacks, one of the biggest thing, and one of the biggest challenge that holds anybody back is when they start worrying about their future, knowing that there is no future. You'll only experience it once you get there. So why not live in present, give yourself a reality check, work hard, focus on your goals. Some days would be good, some days will not be so good. I did not even use the word bad, if you notice. So
Yeah.
that's not in my dictionary. So some days are good, some days are, otherwise. So why worry about something you have not even seen? And that's where mentorship weighs in very heavily. And I begin to realize that once I put my hands down, and here's another important aspect I would like to tell your audience. People say ABC has become successful because they were lucky. And I think otherwise. Heck no, this is not the case. Luck is only one of the instrumental factor that comes in when you show up to the work, when you do all the hard work. That's where luck comes in. If you do not show up to the work, if you are not hands down, if you are not even giving yourself a chance and an exposure to the things, how do you even expect luck to favor you? They say fortune favors the brave, which means the brave are the ones who actually show up at work, who do all the hard work, who put in their best efforts, give their best shot, and then once they become successful, once they are brave enough to take new decisions, embrace new challenges. That's where sometimes luck favors you. So my philosophy is breaking the taboos is very important. Thinking unorthodox is even more important, but never give up on yourselves. The reason why people do not get there and hit the finish line is because they give up too early. Um, I just talked about Jack Ma, and one of his famous quotes says, "Today is difficult, tomorrow is even more difficult, but day after tomorrow is sunshine." Many people die tomorrow evening. They do not even foresee day after tomorrow. And because it's in haze, nobody has seen the future, people give up. It's not tangible, right? There's nothing you can touch physically and experience it. But my mantra, my logic is keep doing it, and that's what I've been doing in all my life, professional life, so to speak. Freelancing, when the days were not so good, uh, you would get vibes that okay, let's find something else. But again, perseverance and persistence uh, helped you go ahead, go further in your career. Then there was a social media influencer life. Then there was blogging career. Then there was YouTubing. And if you gave up, that's where you died.
Yeah, I totally agree. And
And
Hisham,
and I apologize if I got a little too philosophical here because that's how I think.
no, you think however you want. That I brought you for you, so don't be apologetic about who you are. No judgment here. So Hisham, after the show, or maybe we're going to connect some other time because I really would like to discuss with you some business opportunities. I'm always looking into other ventures for me, especially coming, bringing to the U.S. and doing some great work here in the U.S. But quickly here, I'm going to interrupt the thought because I apologize when you were talking about speaking and training how to speak. I just want to offer here to the audience that we are sponsoring Rizwan Rashid, whom you probably know. He's a trainer in a leadership development as well as a coach from Canada. And we are sponsoring actually this webinar on Saturday, February the 27th. I believe it's at 11 a.m., 2 hours, where we're going to really walk you through the whole art of speaking. So, speaking, communication, it's such an important thing to gain and learn. And I love it when people say, oh, it's enough for me to speak from the heart. And I tell them, I love to play piano, right? But I'm not a player, so I don't know the music. And if I don't practice and learn it, and I just sat and started like hitting some keys from the heart, I wonder what kind of music I'm going to play. So the same concept we need to apply in everything we do in life, that the only way you're going to get better is by doing and learning and failing and learning and doing and practice, practice, practice. Between Hisham and I, we have a combined 40 plus years of experience, expertise, knowledge sitting right here. That is a tremendous wealth for you guys to really learn from. But do the work. Do the work. What we're saying here is meaningless if you only hear it from one ear and there is no application, there is no reflection, and it goes from the other ear. It will not do you any favor. The other thing that I want to kind of call out here is please follow us. In some cultures, when you say, hey guys, support us and follow us, people are like little, unease about it. No, we're here to support the communities and to share a lot of wealth and a lot of experience and expertise as well. So be supportive. Follow us on YouTube. I'm sure you can find Hisham easily. Follow us on Instagram. And then the great thing, I don't know, Hisham, if you are on Clubhouse. My apologies, that's not the one that I wanted to hit on. This is the one that I wanted to hit on, and I had the other one. So I am on Clubhouse. I don't know if you are, and I'm loving it. I'm doing a program every day, Monday through Thursday at 1 o'clock with different topics. Like on Monday, I do habits and success habits and mindset. On Tuesday, usually I do growth and I take John Maxwell teaching and I talk about how to grow. And then on Wednesday, I do something about speaking, Wednesday and Thursday. So it's only 1 hour and you get to come in and you get to speak. I'm loving it. So connect with us on Clubhouse, follow us and pin us. And kind of it's a great way to build community and share a lot of ideas. And Hisham, if you want to share also your social media platforms and people can follow you, you're here to serve and help. So that would be amazing as well.
To begin with, just followed you on Clubhouse. So you got one follower here, and I'm gonna drop in your room.
Yeah, join at 1 o'clock Eastern time today, which would be like in about 3 hours. I'm going to talk about focus. How do you focus on building success? How do you build some habits? And how do you pretty much set goals and achieve those goals? So, what's your process? So, if you want to join us, it will be great. But again, I mean, a shout out to people. Please select the ones you are following. I am very selective. I protect my heart and my mind in a way you cannot imagine. And the first thing that I really pay attention is who I am following, who I am listening to. If people are making a lot of noise out there and the noise is not serving me to grow and achieve my goals and to grow an entrepreneur and an investor, I have no need for it. So I don't really mingle with a lot of conversations. And this is how Hisham came under my radar. And I'm like, man, I need to have him on my show and talk to him and kind of absorb some of his energy and mind. And thank you so much, Hisham, for coming. I want to talk a little bit about YouTube. Tell me a little bit about your venture. And if you guys are listening, please follow Hisham on YouTube and follow me as well on YouTube. I probably need the followers more than the subscribers more than he does. But walk us a little bit about how did you get into YouTube and what was your biggest challenges in really pushing the channel out?
Okay, so before I talk about my YouTube, uh, you are invited to come on my show on my YouTube, and that surely will bring in new subscribers
Nice.
to your channel. So let's discuss that after this conversation, and we'll decide a time and date, and we'll do it. So uh, that's about subscribers you are looking for. My journey on YouTube, actually, my life is full of accidents and surprises, and this was actually a surprise and an accident too, because uh, as a government trainer who was selected to work for government for a distance learning program to teach people freelancing, I've taught over 1.5 million kids in the country. I've taught them freelancing. I've taught them how to get uh, their skills out and get paid. And eventually, God was very kind, Alhamdulillah, that I was able to do a lot of justice to my teaching, and the stats are very overwhelming. So last year, 2019-20 financial year, Pakistani freelancers have remitted around 170 million US dollars in sales, which is the highest in the history of the country, which is an amazing, amazing sense of fulfillment and gives me a maximum satisfaction that at least I was able to play my part and pay back to the community. So we had this event in December 2019. One of my friends from Karachi, a city of Pakistan, we invited him to come to Islamabad, and we were having this chit chat over a cup of tea, and he actually, for the very first time in 2019, I'm not a YouTuber who has been YouTubing for a very long time. I just got started a year back, and he brought my attention towards establishing my YouTube channel. And here I was. Why do I need a YouTube channel where I've got my own blog? I get a reasonable amount of visitors visiting my blog every single day. I'm on social media, Facebook primarily, and I have a decent Facebook group where a lot of students are under one roof. And then I've got my Facebook page, a couple of Facebook pages for that matter. One is for Being Guru, and one is my personal fan page. By the way, I've shared the stream on both Facebook pages, so I get decent amount of following. Why do I need to establish a YouTube channel? And then Imran, my friend's name, he highlighted the importance that, look, on YouTube people can come in and they can search, whereas this is not a facility. On Facebook they cannot search for a particular video on Facebook, and there are no playlists. Even though there are playlists, Facebook has recently introduced playlists for pages, but back then there were no playlists. So I principally we agreed on the on a cup of tea that I'm going to open my YouTube channel, and little did I know, Shaba, that overnight I would get such overwhelming response that I would race to my 100K subscribers inside 6 months, and right now I stand at around like 240K subscribers, and a lot of my audience still watch my content, but they do not subscribe for some strange reason, and only if they subscribe to my channel I would race my way to 1 million this year. So that's Urdu channel for you. Alongside this, I realized that I'm missing out to international audience on YouTube, which means that I've got to do something in English. I think I can speak well. I can convey my point of view across. I'm pretty okay when it comes to spoken English. So let's open a YouTube channel in English, And again, to my surprise, raised to 20K subscribers inside 3 months. Started in November last month, last year, late November. So December, January, February, and that's what I hope to do in 2021. Spending a lot of time on my upcoming videos on different playlists. Um, to be honest, I did not face any challenge. I'll be honest, brutally honest. I mean, maybe because of my huge popularity with that government program, people were searching for me on my YouTube channel, on YouTube, and they, came across my YouTube channel. So, I mean, yeah, let's be honest. There were no stumbling blocks in getting new subscribers. So I typically get around 700, 800 subscribers every single day on my main channel, which is pretty decent. And recently, been experiencing huge influx from my neighborhood, the country's neighborhood, which is India. So Indians are joining in. They've pretty pretty decent as well, and they are praising my work, and that is also a very overwhelming response. So I look forward to connect with all the uh, people out there on YouTube, on my main channel, who can understand my language, which is of course Urdu, and Hindi is pretty much similar to Urdu. So that's my main channel. And then there is Being Guru 2.0. I did not uh, give a call to action for main channel, but since I assume a lot of your audience would be English, my YouTube channel is Being Guru 2.0, BEING GURU 2, numerical 2.0, of course. And on this channel, I do live stream every single morning, which is my night, Eastern Standard Time, around 10 a.m., 11 a.m., Monday to Friday. And we talk about freelancing. We talk about internet-based businesses. We talk about blogging. We talk about how to create your digital products. The point is, and therefore all the popularity I have received on YouTube, the point is, I am showing them the way how to make money in this time of crisis, which is, of course, COVID-19, where people have lost their jobs. A lot of small businesses have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in US. And in such, unexpected hostile circumstances where people are struggling to make ends meet, if I can show them a way how to make money as a freelancer or as a blogger, as a YouTuber, or create your digital products, uh, I think I'm doing justice to my existence on this planet. No?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's wonderful. So, Hisham, I'm actually following you back on Clubhouse, so hopefully we can
Right.
connect there. I love the platform.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, I was listening to Forbes Riley, who is a big a billionaire here in the United States, very well known. And yesterday I was with her on a webinar, and she was saying that how much she loved, especially for women, how much she loved Clubhouse because she just hop on it without worrying about, dressing and makeup, hair and makeup sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, she's absolutely right. I just love it. And then I love also the way that it is set up, allowing people to have different rooms and talk about different topics and ask questions and be part of a community of learners. I think the platform is amazing, so we can actually have some conversations there. So I'm following you there. And then as we are talking, I've noticed a lot of friend requests probably coming from your community. I'm literally like, because I have Facebook on this side to see who's posting what, and I'm literally seeing a lot of people from your circle sending me friend requests. So here's a disclaimer, guys. I am kind of maxed out in terms of friend requests, but I am very present online. I have a very open mindset about my life, and I like to share different things. So you can actually just like my pages and follow my pages and follow my Instagram and connect with me on Clubhouse. I'm all the time talking and sharing ideas and thoughts because I believe that an entrepreneur is not just here to share the skill he knows or the knowledge he knows. When we talk about entrepreneurship, I see it more as a lifestyle. This is who I am, and this is what I do. So for you to even have a a better idea about what led this person to become successful or to be happy or to achieve the dreams and so on, it's not about what they do only. It's also who they are, how they live life, how they dream and think and share ideas and thoughts, and it's all kind of inspiring and empowering people as well. And I know for sure that I follow my gurus and my fans, the people that I love following, that I listen to, and I get inspired from their lives as well. So we're offering ourselves in a way to the world, because it's like, learn from me. If I achieve this success, if I achieve this mindset, if I live life every day with this passion, you need to learn, and I'm willing to share what is it that I do every day, how I think, how I approach life, how I protect my heart and my mind and my thoughts from poison, just to be able to be in the right, and put my heart in the right place. So this is really important, and I apologize if I can't add you all as friends, because really I'm maxed out. I leave probably like 5, 10 spots for if I need to add some people. But I mean, we're here. We're here to serve you and support you, so you guys can follow us on different platforms. Hisham, I can really talk to you for hours, and I feel like the more I hear you talk, the more I'm like, this is why I don't prepare questions. And I have so many more. Oh my God. Probably we'll have to, plan more meetings, if that's okay with you, just even on Clubhouse, and kind of just come together and have conversations. I really love to talk with people who are smarter than me, more knowledgeable than me, have more experience about certain things than me, because it really humbles me. And I sit here inviting people on my show to share their knowledge and expertise to the world. But to be honest with you, Hisham, I sit here and I become like this little student, and I'm just listening, and my heart is open to learning from you and so many amazing guests that I've got on the show. So I really can't thank you guys all enough for even coming here and sharing your heart. And it was beautifully said. So I think your English is beautiful. I have no problem understanding and connecting with what you're saying. I have actually two more questions, briefly.
Sure.
One is, you talk to the world, you talk to people, and you interview and you have conversations. What have you learned from these exchanges with the world?
Right. Again, amazing question. What I've learned is, don't be judgmental. People have got right to voice their opinion. And most importantly, if you want to establish a business relationship, you got to be a good listener. Unless and until you are willing to listen to others' point of view and try to absorb their drive, their passion, and their narrative. Unless and until you're giving yourselves a fair chance of uh, being be on the receiving end, you do not get to know people well. That's what I have understood over the years. So as a young kid growing up in this internet world, I was curious and I would interrupt people halfway in the conversations. And as a curious kid, I need answers to my questions. And over a period of time, I realized that there are different cultures here, and you got to respect every culture. For example, if you are having a conversation with a Japanese, and in the middle of a conversation, if you cut them, they actually take it as an offense, and then they leave the conversation. So I experienced that, thankfully, in my early 20s. So that prepared me to look and study and observe different cultures in states, in US, in Canada. When you talk about European countries, for example, Irish are a little different. People in Dublin and Ireland, they do not value, you know, they do not pay much heed to you cutting them off. But at the end of the day, what I have learned over the years is everybody is different. Everybody's got a right to voice their opinion. Uh, People are different. You got to respect them. You got to be courteous. And most importantly, if you want to do business from this part of the world with the people in West, you got to be a good listener. So that's what I have learned over the years as a curious student.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. So I will save my last question to the end because I kind of want to go quickly through a few questions, not too many. I'm literally I'm seeing like pop question after question. And thank you guys so much. Really, I appreciate you being here. There's so many things you could be doing on a Monday morning or a Monday evening, whatever you are as a citizen of the world. And we truly, truly appreciate you being here and connecting with us and kind of being part of our community. So thank you so much for that. Salman says, how can we develop speaking skills, specifically in English? People communicate in Urdu all around me. How can I find it like minded people to talk in English speaking? My world, honestly, Salman, and I'm gonna let Hisham give his side because my people are also Arabic and Berber and French speakers. There are no excuse. There are so many different clubs. There are so many different events where you can connect. Um, being around people who speak specific language is not an excuse for you not getting out of it. So the key is to be resourceful, is to connect with people, watch a lot of movies, listen to people who speak English, like in this event. Speak, 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 or speak. You become better at speaking a language when you practice, 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 period. Hisham, what do you have?
That's it. I mean, there's no other way out. You got to read, you got to watch, you got to speak, and that's it. There are only three mediums here if you want to learn a language. It's not just about English. Whatsoever language you want to learn, the only way you can learn that language is by communicating in that language with people, reading about it, and then, of course, YouTube. YouTube is a great teacher. So I agree with you, 110%.
All right, let me see if there are any questions. Hisham, whenever we get off, you can go through all the comments. There are some very, very sweet comments for you, but I cannot go through all of them, and I am sorry because of time. I would rather have him talk than answer questions because I mean, I'm just learning so much from you, Hisham. Thank you so much. Um, he says something, somebody says, sorry, the name doesn't come up. Listening, being a good listener is one of the best way to be a good communicator. And let me tell you that quickly something really. I am actually working on a book with Robert G. Moore from Magnetize something company, amazing guy from Canada. He's my publisher. And the book is about how interviews help you become a better speaker, build self confidence. I'm hoping the book will be geared towards entrepreneurs and also CEOs, leaders, and so on and so forth. But interesting enough, as I am working on the book about interviews help you become a better speaker, I also realized, in at least my experience as an interviewer, is interviews is helping me become a better listener. And I never really thought about it that way. A lot of people focus on communication as a skill of speaking, but it's really 50-50. If not, sometimes the percentage changes. It's about speaking and listening. And you can never be a good speaker, a good communicator, if you do not master the art of listening. And John Maxwell has a book called Many Communicate, Few Connect, something like that. And part of communication is connection. Is connection does not happen without the listening part. So I just wanted to throw it out there because, like I said, it's something that I've been reflecting on a lot as I am working on this book. I come from a very strong academic background where I did a lot of research, and especially in the qualitative interview process, that's pretty much what we do. We listen and we learn how to understand and apply and deduct so much from the participants' response. So I just thought I'll share it here because it's, sometimes when something is in the back of your head, and you're thinking about it constantly. You just want to put it out there. So, what do you think, Hisham, about interviews and communication makes you a better listener as well as a better speaker?
Wonderful. I mean, again, that's a valuable insight you have given here, because when you interview people, you give yourselves a chance of learning. They say the best way of learning is to teach. So, as a teacher who has stepped into a teaching mode in only in the last couple of years, I have observed that my learning skill has also increased by fold. And the reason for this is I learn from people. So they've got something to say, and then I know, okay, oh, this is a problem that needs a solution. Go and find a solution to that problem. And in the process, I learn. So again, I agree with you that listening is one of the best ways of learning, and that's how you groom yourselves. That's how you have, you develop good communication skills. My communication skills. I'm not sure from the scale of 1 to 10 where do I stand. As a curious student, I would always doubt my abilities. But the reason why I brought this up, the scale of 1 to 10, is because when my daughter was born, she's 16 now. That actually developed a lot of patience, because someone told me and gave me a great parenting tip that unless and until you don't listen to your children, they will, hide things from you, and they will not share things with you. So you got to be a good listener, and that's where a part of my listening ability was developed, because got to listen to her problems, and as a growing teen, of course, she has a whole set of new challenges, every single day. But you got to listen to your child, and that itself has taught me a lot about life. If you are only speaking and that's the only thing you're doing, me, there would come a point that they would get exasperated to the core, and they will leave the conversation, because they would genuinely believe that this guy is so self-centric that does not give value to others' point of view.
I'm going to share something that J.T. Fox said.
Yeah.
He said, God gave us one mouth, two ears, and two eyes. And there is a reason for that. We're supposed to be doing 50% less talking and more listening and more observing. So, this is my tip for you: observe and listen twice as much as you speak.